All right, depends what you're working on. Obviously, if it's your partner, probably not so much modesty, but for me, I'm going to go ahead and drape my partner down to her waist. See how she is with that, all good. And then I'll just kind of hold the sheet here and get a flank out. Exposes my hand warmer for my partner. I'm going to switch hands now. Okay. So I'll just do some flows I'm used to doing. This is the biggest thing. Everything that I'll teach you technique-wise later is based off these really nice, deep, Lomi, kind of long, full-body flows. My partner here, she takes pretty heavy work, so I'll be pretty deep, but you have to adjust. If your partner doesn't like deep work, when I might over here, you might want to be back here, or even really low. I'll also show you in a while how you can do it on a horizontal surface like a bed or the floor. For this one, again, I want to start higher than the back, so I'm on the neck, come in. I'm going to be really deep here, so I'm going to take the angle out by getting on my tippy toes and pushing down. I'm not the tallest guy in the world, so I'll have to kind of either go to the side or just kind of keep getting close to the head of my tummy. Hope I don't push down. I'll reach as far as I can get. I'll lift one of my feet up in the back, and instead of doing this kind of pull with my hands little thing, I'll get all my body weight in and I'll go all the way up. And then this is the counterintuitive part. I'll circle to the outside, come out under the pec minor, up under the neck, and here and finish. I could from here go into a nice trap strip. I could come up here, knuckle strip out, or I could just come up and just do nice stuff. All right? Nice deep breath. Come in. Get some depth. Maybe go along the side more to get a little more pressure as I'm going down the body. My fingers are definitely doing some work here. When I come down to the sacrum, I'll either push in with my two pointer fingers or my thumbs might cross and kind of push out that way. And then I'll go far down the leg as I can. Nice deep breath. When I come back, I'll just try to glue onto her. Circle around, come in, nice. But I'll come in, nice deep breath. Kind of locked in there, and then my back leg will just push me forward. Going nice and slow. Got a lot of stuff going on. Take another big step. And see, I'm not really changing much shape at all in my upper body. It's just kind of a tool that I use to transfer my weight to my partner. All the way down. Calves can be a lot more sensitive, so I'll check in here. Come down, and I'll maybe make a big turn, pull. So head of the foot for a second. I got a bolster under the ankle, which keeps it from over flexing. I'll do some hand work. I'm still going to try and use my body for the back and forth if I can, but hands do feel nice. You can also get a lot better idea of what's under your hands or under her skin, what you're working on. Nice deep breath, and we'll go up for a full body run. Every time's a little bit different angle. This time I'm kind of on top, but a little to the outside of the calf and the hamstring. I'm going to work all the way under her hip to come up in between her hip and her ribs. Get a little bit of emollient on there. So again, coming up. Kind of work under, almost push up, all the way in like that, and kind of contour. When I'm contouring with my hand, there's not a lot of pressure because it's not the healthiest thing to do for your wrist. So this is just kind of keeping good contact Most of my pressure is going to be still in here. I come in, my other hand's going to follow right behind. Kind of torque the wrist, the hip up if you can. Grab, I got a lot of torque here, and I'll find my way up onto her back, right next to the spine, pull that shoulder back, big step up, pretty heavy here, good place for nicey nice. What a lot of people do is they'll come off here and go like clunk, clunk, clunk over the scapula, which isn't that comfy. I'm going to come all the way up, and especially the first time, I'm going to rotate my hand. So right now, kind of the most protrusive part of my working surface is kind of on her back. I want to kind of take it to the side a little bit. And it's going to put this into her neck. So when I come up, I turn to the side, and I straighten my hand up, and then I can go in and hide the elbow, and that's almost never going to hurt your partner. It's like, oh, okay, that wasn't too bad. If I come up like this and keep this angle in there and come over the elbow, I already feel how that muscle's popped on me. I'm trying to avoid that. It's all for demo purposes. But that's really a lot through the neck. If your client likes that, awesome, but you should check in and make sure you like it before you do it. Okay, so I'll probably come up. I might get under that shoulder. I might get on top of it. When I'm under it, it's nice because I can pull on her pectoral muscles, pec minor. I can actually give a little extra push up with my fingers, pull through, really hold that shoulder, drop in and come around. And then I'm going to turn, and again, it's just every time a little bit different. I'll come in here, I like to catch the body early, push, and then I'm ready to go. If you'll notice when I come in here, this is my heaviest area. I've got a hand here and a hand here. One reason I do this is because if I'm coming up here and I don't have this hand here, and she says, ow, the only really way off her is to push off more with the hand that's hurting her. But if I have this hand here and she goes, ow, I can go, what is it? Right, I can stop, I have something to push off with. So I do that especially when I'm not sure how my partner's going to react, or if they're kind of sore after a workout or something like that. So I like to come down. But what I also will do is take this forearm right after the elbow, after her elbow, and drop in, and get that same kind of pulling back from her fingers that my hands got. Really heavy. What this does is it takes a lot of attention off the 4 different pressure points I have, one up in her back, one on top of the glute, one going into the hamstring, and one on the wrist. The brain can only absorb so much information. So if I know my partner has a really hard time with work here, or even here, I can come in and I can really change where that pressure is. And a lot of times they'll just let you do work that they can't do if you just went by yourself and just did one thing. Okay, that's how you get a partner's body to relax and accept deeper work, is do a lot of things at one time. Like walking and chewing gum and whistling, I don't know. Really heavy in her hand right now. Hitting the glute, these aren't even doing much. So I'm going to shift my focus, and I get more into my hands and push in. On my tippy toes, that's how I get a little higher on the body. Big step. That pull back I told you about, I'm going to stop. Take a breath. Lean back and pull. And right now I don't have very much volume at all, so I'm really getting a lot of action in the muscles and the tissue and the fascia. So if it's a really working day kind of massage, I'm definitely going to have this set up. So relaxation day, I might do a little more emollient, just so I kind of slip a little more and not as invasive into the muscles. I'll come down and I can run the foot with my hand. I can come down. I can come under, bring it up, do something out there, pull up on the calf, both hands in the thigh, bring it forward. A lot of tension, a little much there. So you always want to check in with your partner. The nice thing is if their body lets you know, like hers just did, or she would verbally tell me, I can go really deep and know that my partner will let me know. And come back and just set it down. A lot of this stuff was just personal preference for me, kind of artistic, but also sort of getting some work done. I like to reach under and around when I can. I like to work under the body and work on the quad while she's face down. One thing about that is if you do get a table, don't spend much on your table. Buy a nice foam topper. The topper is the most important part, as long as it will hold you up, because I can push into the topper to reach under the skin versus just being stuck under there. So if I can reach down a little bit and get some lotion on, it helps me get under my partner without hurting their skin, making them get a reaction. And so I'm going to keep doing that. Need a little more oil. I've gone to oil now. If you'll notice, it just gives me more grace under there. If I was working really heavy on maybe an athletic person or someone needed a real therapeutic deep massage, I'd probably stay with balm under there. But under her leg right now, I'm just coming back with this little bridge like this. The main muscle, the quad, the main of the quad muscle is on my fingers, and I'm pulling back like a little bridge. And because it's like this, I don't have to lift up. It's just against the table and a pull. So I come under, lift up, nice deep breath, back foot goes in the air, and I just drag backwards. Come out, do something. Okay? I'll come up. As soon as I'll come up and I'll go out to the forearm. All right. Other times I'll do under that hip again. So here. So outside foot forward, I come under. When I get right about here, I'm actually going to push up with that hand, really push up into the hip, see if I can get some torque going there. I'm coming around pretty heavily. There's actually a lot of pressure in there, so I'm pushing, and then I want to get up onto that back. Other hand might pin and stretch the other way. Other hand could just follow. Whatever you feel like doing. A lot of heavy kind of elbow, but it's a bent elbow. It's not that 90-degree angle, so it's not as super sharp. When I go through these glutes and piriformis muscles, rotators, I want to go, and if I start to feel a little tension building, I just kind of stay on it right to the edge and then let it go before either it bothers her or it kind of pops or moves. And you'll feel it. You'll feel the nerves start to let you know something's too tight. So I'm just going just deep enough, but not too deep. I'd rather do it 3 or 4 times, building up the pressure, than do it once and make a mistake. So kind of coming under the threshold you think. And again, I'm going to come up, heavy in the hip. The second hand, kick him under that hip. And it can really be heavy because I can kind of use her body to torque up or the table to torque up and really work on that hip. Pull the shoulder towards me. Some nice work there. I'm really just leaning lazy. That arm, my shoulder can drop onto her body. I joke, it's not like finger painting sometimes. You're just sort of trying to find something that looks good, feels good, a little out of the box. Here I'm lined up really linear, directly over the body part. Instead of being out here on the table, get right here, which is kind of nice. So I like to be hand heavy sometimes when I can. Right? I'm not doing a lot of grabbing here. I'm just pushing the hands in, so it's a nice compromise. But I'll get back into that Lomi flow, using this part of my arm, pushing in. A lot of taffy pulling, back and forth. Also, when I come down and I pull the calf this way, you need to notice my arm is pushing that way. So I'm always kind of creating this cross torque so I can be more interesting and just get more work done. Push under. I'm going to try and scoop. I'm running out of lotion here, but I'm just going to say hi. It's really light because I don't have much lotion. Just getting that run in, coming back. Pressure. Some of the ways I can get some deeper pressure into the body is by using other parts of my body. So maybe I'll open my knee up here. I'll get a little lotion on it. Make sure I have some on here. What's nice here, if you have a table that goes up and down, you can get it lower and get your center of gravity up higher. But I'll just come in here, drop in, and so I'll push down with the knee as I go up. Really heavy. How are we doing? Doing two things at once. All right. I can come out here and I could get the calf. All right. I can come under more on the IT band. I can pull against myself or against herself. Make that really deep. A little too deep, thank you. All right. All sorts of stuff. You turn. You just make it up as you go. Rules are your partner should enjoy it. You shouldn't be hurt doing it, and it should be okay. I'll get up on this side and work across my partner. I don't want to give CPR to the spine, so I usually have at least one knee up, probably both knees up. I can put an elbow down here, and not the elbow, the forearm, because this would not be super nice for your partner. So this is kind of a pin. See how I get that stretched and tight? Then the other forearm comes in here. And for a minute, I'm pressing off myself to get some movement. But as soon as I get out to where I can just lean and go, I just let my body weight push that open. How we doing? If you feel like you lose traction, you could retraction. And at the end of that, just do something nice. I can do the same thing here. I could pin here and go down the leg. Okay. Later on, I'll show you that if you're on the floor or on a bed or something, you can do this whole Lomi on your knees. The main thing you want to make sure is that if my knees are together doing this, and I'm leaning over, my back is probably going to hurt. I try and get the widest kind of stance I can get, and I want to lean towards what I'm doing. So I'm just pushing in. I could bring that foot up. I could come in here and I could bring that leg out. Right, a lot of the same stuff I was doing, standing. Might bring this in, and then bring it out. Come back. Nice deep inhale. Let me know if anything's too much. How you doing? I'm going to switch sides and square her shoulders off. So I'll come to the other side, because she's again not lined up very well because I pulled her to that side. I'll make some room. I don't want to just reach under because that could be kind of just hard on her skin. So I bring the shoulder up a little bit, kind of come under here, and I'll just pull a little bit. Try to get things back to center. All right. I do that one where I'm down on my knee in the lunge, pressing out. One big thing for me is 90% of my work, 80% is the nervous system. I'm trying to get your nervous system to relax. Muscles are often, they're kind of inert until the nervous system does something with them. So I want to start before this muscle group that I'm after and end after it because the nervous system keeps going on. So I'm going to start in here, nice big breath. Come in. That's some tight muscles over the shoulder bone now. I'm into the next muscle group if you look at a textbook, but this is the same kind of neuro-emotional fascial work. Everything's going through this line and coming up. So I go as far out as I can, come back up. All right, pull, come in, settle, work. When I'm on the floor, I'm always in a lunge, like I am now. If I have both knees on the ground and I'm pushing, it just hurts. It hurts my back, no matter how you think you do it. When I get one foot up for that lunge, I just fall into that lunge. So again, it's just the weight's just coming forward. Super easy. I like to have the outside knee up because it gets me past the table to my lunge. If the inside knee's up and I'm lunging this way, I just kind of get stuck. Okay? So again, I'm pushing in, and I'm going to do this. I'll use my knee, and here's my lunge. I'm just going to slip to the outside. Bring this hand up. And again, I want to be working on these muscles. I want to catch it somewhere down here so I get all of it. Stand up. Go down the body. You'll notice sometimes I'm kind of coming down linearly. Linearly. I'm pushing straight through here. Other times I want to really work on these muscles, so when I get down here, I'll shift out and angle in. So my body weight comes oblique across them and not along them. Here, I can drop. I can use other body parts. I can put it on my sternum. I can work on hamstrings while I'm just kind of playing with that. It can be locked in out here. A lot of times, if I really want to be heavy in the legs, I'll bring the foot off the side, put my thigh into the front arch of that foot, and then I can use this to kind of vary how much tension's in there, and I can make it really loose or really tight. She also, if she wanted to, could push off against me and make things different for herself. Sometimes if I'm working on a really big, strong linebacker type, I got to worry about that, because if they push too hard and I'm not ready, they'll push me backwards. So I want to make sure I get planted, and I say go ahead. Do a lot of deep work here. I put my elbows down here. 2 hands on one. Lots of ways to get the work done. Sometimes people will use like a tiger tail or something. They can sit back here and work this. Whatever you feel like. As long as your partner is enjoying the work, or it's within their comfort zone and you're not hurting yourself doing it. Okay? Some stuff about the calves. If I want to do deeper work in the calves, one way is to come under, sit down, and if I'm on the soccer field, it looks like this. My legs are just straight on the grass. Here I'm on the table. If I'm too close and her knee pops up, I want to move away a little bit, and then I'm just going to drop my body and come straight down over the thicker part of the calf. It's a different muscle than the actual gastrocs, but I still want to be heavy on that. And then what I'm going to do is just lean over here, rotate the foot out a little bit. Now the inside medial part of the gastroc or calf is available, and I just do the same lean. How's the pressure? All the way through. Push through that knee. Trying to think about pushing fluid through there. Don't get too deep in the tendony parts. And then when I want to do the lateral side of the calf, the outside part of the calf or leg, I just rotate the foot in and do that. And I can do this for half an hour with no problem at all. Kind of personal anecdote. Don't do it like when you're watching an exciting UFC fight, because it goes really bad for your partner. So, just personal experience. But you could, after an event, mountain climbing, some stair challenge, this is nice, just to run for 15, 20 minutes. Every now and then I'm going to break off from that. And just again, think about pushing fluids up the leg, right? Through these kind of places where it wants to stop all the time. Pushing through, pulling, and then coming back to the work. Really easy work. If I wanted to make it more challenging for my partner or easier for me, I can bring this leg up, kind of start to give that foot some try and give that foot some plantar flexion. Try and give that foot some dorsiflexion, pushing it up. And then I can really be heavy here. And if I wasn't able to kind of do that because my partner's too strong, I could cross my legs, kind of come over. Nope, not to do that. Oh, these pants are terrible. Look at that. I should bring a little thingamajigger, a little dually hooper. Okay, so that's good there. Then I might go from here, challenging, pushing up, reaching under the thigh, pulling back. I'll do those same kind of swoops, coming under the quad, doing that ridge coming back, pushing up. And then if I've got enough oil and I'm pretty sure I can do it, I'll kind of come under with this hand, I'll lift up a little bit and create some space. And this hand just kind of sweeps under to the outside. Okay, it's a scoop. And so when I do that, I come under and I scoop. I can get these nice kind of runs on the IT bands. I've got a lot of pressure coming right in here, so it's offset. How we doing? Okay. All right. Nice. Make the space. Scooping under. A high scoop. You can pull and traction that hip. IT bands. Okay, so if I want to do a little more therapeutic, kind of advanced mobility type work, I've got that same line. I'm coming under, running back, and eventually what I'll do is I'll just bring her foot up a little bit. This inside hand will come just inside the knee, on the femur, on the leg part, not the lower leg part. This hand's going to just touch her hip here a little bit, and I'm going to come all the way out to the outside. What I like to do is catch them with my hip, because like she stretches a lot, she's got pretty open hips, so I want to challenge her, so I'm going to push it up a little bit, okay? Then I will probably do things like I will pull the hip away from the rib cage. Okay, that's kind of a real manual pull. If I don't feel like I have that much strength over my partner, I can come to the inside. Do that same thing with a pin and kind of an opposing stretch or run, come out. I can come through the glute pretty nice and heavy. I can come up with the IT band. And I'm still trying to use my body weight. Even though my hips are kind of locked, I want to lean in and lean over. It just is better than, it feels better, it's easier on yourself. Okay? All sorts of stuff I can get in here. I can dig in, come across. I like this one, it's kind of fun, is I'll grab the knee with my hip and I'll just sort of bring it up as I do a run up here. And the knee keeps coming up higher and I keep dropping in. How we doing? Again, she's pretty flexy, so that's in her range of motion. Now I can kind of come back and really put some more pressure there. What I might do after that is I might drop back. And just assuming that I didn't have maybe the strength or power to get her hip up, so I want to make sure I'm kind of supported in that, I can come back and I'm going to put her foot, not the forefoot, but the arch right in the middle where there's support, right in the middle of my thigh. I'm going to give that some support and I'm just going to walk forward. Okay? That gives me a lot more power up here. How you doing? Okay, then I can IT band, push and pull, hips away from the ribs, QL kind of stretches. If she's really stretchy, I can come out here and lock. This is kind of stuff that when you do it, you really want to check in with your partner a lot. It's pretty advanced, so just be careful. The thing you have to worry about in massage is if your partner won't tell you when something hurts too much, then you can't really do really crazy stuff. But if you're really good communicator with your partner and you know whether they'll let you know things, you can really try to, thank you, press their limits, push in. When I come back, I like to, so I'm going to break that for 1 second. This is if I want to do massage people. This will be a different video. If I really wanted the challenger, be a little creative here. Make sure the draping's set up good for you. What I can do is come under, and this is all good. It's going to be through the low back with the hips. I'm pushing up, but I lift, and I try to see if I can grab her back, either shoulder blade or mid back. And I've got a lot of pressure here, and I can really open that up. It's like a crowbar, pushing. How we doing? Low back if I can get it. And when I come back, I like to open the hips up. So I'll come under here, I'll switch arms. I've got a good grip of both parts of her leg, top and bottom. I'll put on top or here, nice big breath. I'll just step back and open the hip up. Maybe push in. Okay. And bring it up. I like to kind of recenter people, so I know that I've sort of pulled their spine off a little bit off line. I don't want to lift them because that could hurt me no matter how big or small they are. So I'm just going to put my hands on the table and kind of use my thumbs to just kind of come up and just shuttle a little bit. There. Bring their leg up. And maybe I'll bring it over here. Lock it in. And I can just do different kinds of lines up and down. IT band, into the back of the knee, peroneals, thumb, knuckles. Could use a small rock there if I wanted to really dig in more. Forearm, elbow. All right. Have a lot of response there, some slowing down. Sorry. Here I'm kind of palming up. As I do that, I don't just curl my fingers. I push these knuckles into the table. It kind of pops the fingers up. So I'm just trying to use gravity and not strength. So I come under. The finger pads are coming up. It's a little softer than that bridge thing we were doing before. Still nice and under there. I can still come all the way under. Palms. Or I can, like before, come under. Remember, I blossom like a flower. Come under, open up a little bit, gets my hand through, and I can strip. This time I've got one hand like this and one hand kind of cross. I'm just changing things up. And then I'll push on the hip, push on the knee, come out. Separate the hips from the wrists, separate the hips from the shoulder blade. There's a lot of stuff going on here. So I've got this pulling back, these working, my hip kind of creating different movements in her hip, using her levers. So I'm just trying to find a way to just do the most work, challenge my partner the most. This is why a table is so important, especially if you're trying to get deeper work done on your partner. It just gives you the best angle. And when you're on a bed or on the floor, you're not going to be able to get some of this stuff done. This is where I grab the hernia with my hip, bring it forward, use this as a little helper, and then run over the top. That reach under. So I want to, this is the super challenging one that you would only do in your partners if they're really bendy. I'll come under. Her knee's off, so it's nice. If she's a little shorter, the knee's under there, you got to kind of work to get under. So then I would get a little lotion here and kind of work under. But here is really nice. I just scoop it. My body, my chest, my tummy helps me bring it forward. That's pretty good. And then if I think I can go a little more, I might turn my hand and try and grab her shoulder blade. How we doing? Just said, well, here's doing a lot of work. Just fingers are pushing through. Super challenging. Make sure you check in. It's not for everybody. Just want to give it for the folks that want to overachieve. So again, I come under. So now it's a little harder to get under there, so I might create a little space, come under, turn and grab. I do the same thing with my inside arm. I can come under. This time I'll kind of come down, so I get the lift first, get the hold first, and I'll stand up using my shoulder and my humerus to push. How we doing? Challenge, open things up. Then I'll come in and catch. Open the hips up. Tighter on the side, big breath. Body weight just pulling back. Just send it back. One thing to note is really important is that these are just my stylistic ideas. This is the way I approach the body. You can approach the body any way you want. There's not a rule book. Some folks will try and give you a rule book. Make sure you just think about it if it makes sense or not. Okay. So one of the areas we get neglected a lot is the inside, the axillary, the inside of the armpit, the lats. I want to get in there as much as I can without zinging my partner or making them all of a sudden feel like sorry they got here. So I'll get on one knee often. Gives me power for my lunge, brings me right down to my partner's side. And I'm going to press in with this pinky pad and then through this line into the muscly part. So if there's no muscle here, this might not be fun, but if there's a lot of muscle here, I can really dig in. I'm going to go up and over and pulling back on the arm so it keeps the shoulders sort of in place. And then I'll just pull down the tricep like that. I'll come in, same thing. And if I really want to dig in, right when I get to that muscly part, usually right where the scapula is, I can really, sorry about that, we'll start over. As we saw her nervous system say, okay, wait a minute. Come in. Go a little further before I do it. I'm going to turn in. Push. How we doing? And pull. Just check with your partner a lot. This is, again, advanced stuff here. I like to push back. I'll just hold her arm here and kind of come here just like a crowbar coming back. Okay. For therapists, I often recommend if you're doing this, you come up and under, you dig that line, come all the way about here. When you want to go back, I keep my hand here by the wrist just because when I push back, it pushes her hand into me. So I want to make sure that she doesn't have an awkward moment, or I do. So hold that, come down, drag, pull. I really want to move my partner a lot. I want to see how their neck and ear move when I pull. So let's see if it doesn't move at all, I got a lot of work to do. Okay. Another way I can work on the wrists is while it's down here. I can come in. I don't want to make a tourniquet because there's no place of blood to flow back. So I will put two thumbs here and they'll be supported. And I'll come down and run all the way down into the hands. The fingers are coming back. And these fingers here are working on the front. But I'm trying to support on each side. So I'm not by myself. That's harder than this. They're stacked. Come all the way down. Open that wrist up. Stretch. I usually just use my body to fall down. Same body weight again. Okay? That's nice. And then if I want to work on the shoulder, I will come in, I'm going to stick my knee under her shoulder. I want it under the shoulder joint, not under the arm. So if I come in, I just sit down like this, and I do that, then that's just not good. Shoulder's not supported, and I'm trying to break her arm kind of deal. So So what I like to do is to get some space, and I'm going to try and put my knee in her ear. So I go all the way in like this, 45-degree angle. I'm under her shoulder. My butt's off the table. And so if I set her down now, and I can push on the tricep, I can pull her. I know I'm good. So then I'll sit on the table. So now I'm under her shoulder, and I'm tractioning that joint, opening it up. Right, all sorts of stuff. Great deep lines in the cuff. Like pull back. A lot of people pull back like this. We'll use our strength. Kind of a Thai massage principle is to really just look all the way back. So look straight back, nice deep inhale and pull. Nice and relaxed. She should come up a little higher there. Put her back in. Heavy lines. Heavy lines. Bring your arm out. Kind of be fancy and use your foot to get the angle you want. With the hand down here, open it up. Come out. Sneak it out. I like to run this kind of offset tension. Just do whatever you feel like. Find something. So that's turn it here. Move my hand, mobilize shoulder a bit. Elbows in the under the scap. So our elbow we know about, we usually have two prominences on the side of our elbows, and I'm kind of using this medial one, the inside one, to actually run this line in the scap. Just because it's a good tool, it's a good angle, so I'll come under again. Come in here. I could try and run the elbow, but it's really wonky. So instead, the inside gets right there, and I'm right along that trap. How we doing? Pulling. Same thing, I'm going to put my knee, my leg, under her arm, under her shoulder, put my knee in her ear, 45 degrees off the table, set her over, lock, test, sit down, and now I've got that shoulder kind of where I want to, and I can do a lot of trigger point stuff. I can run the heavy lines, the rotator cuff, fingers, elbows. How we doing? Come back. Pull. Set her back in. I could come out like I did over there, or I could need to challenge more. So I could bring your arm forward a little bit, support it, keep it up there, sneak out. How you doing? Thank you. Here's a rock climber, so this muscle right here, tight. Can't see her face though, so if I wasn't sure, I'd have to check in verbally, ask her how she was doing. I'm here for a long time, I can just sit down, pull, open.